All right, all you filthy peasants and worthless jabronis out there. That's right. Oh my God, our first simulcast and my special guest, woo, the former East Bay Pro champion, possibly one of the best. Yeah, throwing a little diss to Mr. Taylor out there, but what can you say? Anyways, I got the man himself, the beast from the East Coast, that is, Mr. Cocky Johnson, baby.
First of all, I am not a former champion. I am always the champion. That belt is just that belt is just not at home right now. And Daddy's coming home real soon to get his. So just remember that.
All right, man. I like that. I like that. Ooh, I can't wait to see you back, bro. You've been kind of a little bit of a recluse lately, man. Like, tell us what you've been up to, bro. I mean, that cage match, I thought you were robbed. The Prince was crying in the car when you lost, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, tell the people what's up, bro. Tell us what you've been going on.
you were Rod because that match shouldn't have happened in the first place. I beat Robert Taylor not once, not twice, 3 times. Okay, technically, maybe I didn't pin him to the mat, but I was champion in 3 straight matches with Robert Taylor not getting the job done. And what does East Bay Pro reward Robert Taylor? A cage match that I had to scratch and claw to keep my title to be in, and he just gets granted this title match. And then there was some other guy in at Surza, but we don't need to talk about that guy. Yeah, you were robbed, and I'm just not sure if East Bay Pro deserves Cocky Johnson's presence with the way management has been going and rewarding title shots to people who don't deserve it. So I will be back soon, and I will show everyone what earning the East Bay Pro Championship match is all about and getting the job done. And you might see a new Cocky Johnson when I do decide to arrive.
Oh man, I would love to hear that, bro. Cause man, what can I say? The division hasn't been the same since you left. The Prince has been yearning. Where is Cocky Johnson, the champion that brought me to East Bay? But anyways, man, we'll leave that to the side right now. First things first, bro. The people want to get to know you, Mr. Cocky Johnson. So first things first, bro. I know you're from like the East Coast. Tell us whereabouts. And man, how did you get started in wrestling? Did you train out here or did you train out there? What's up?
The story of Lil Cocky Johnson goes with pro wrestling in my life has gone back to when I was a little kid watching. I think my first WrestleMania was 12. I think that was the first WrestleMania I ever watched, and ever since then, I was about 6 or 7 years old. It's been in part of my life ever since. I've been passionate about it since day one. I grew up. I went to shows. I watched it religiously every week since I was a little kid, and it's just been a part of my life ever since. I mean, I grew up when the Attitude Era when I first started watching 6 years old, that's when the Attitude Era took off. So I grew up with the Attitude Era in my blood. So it's hard not to be a wrestling fan when you're entrenched with Stone Cold and DX and The Rock and all those guys. It's in your blood after that. So I've been wanting to be a wrestler since then. And yeah, so by the way, I am from a little town in New York between Buffalo and Rochester. So I'm from Western New York. Shout out to uh, Upstate Pro Wrestling, which is that's where I came from. That's where I was training at before I moved out to California. Started East Bay Pro. I was there for a few years. Yeah, that's where I got my. That's where Cocky Johnson was born for a little while.
All right, so I like it, man. You got your start in the East Coast. You come over here to the West Coast, grace all these peasants with your presence, and man, what a presence it is. And all right, man. So how did it go? So you started at East Bay. I know that probably didn't success doesn't happen overnight unless you're like one of us, obviously. So, like, what happened next?
So basically, obviously, COVID put a halt to the California version of Cocky Johnson because it would have happened much sooner if that didn't happen. But because of circumstances, Cocky Johnson started East Bay Pro, I believe, the beginning of the year in January, and didn't take very long. I believe our first show was in March, April, around there. So that's when Cocky Johnson made his debut. I want to say a couple months later, won East Bay Pro, Mr. East Bay Pro, and then a month and a half after that, I became your champion. And I knew it wasn't going to take long. I just knew it was a matter of time. I believe I made a pretty impactful promo once I won Mr. East Bay Pro because I feel like Cocky Johnson's been held down for way too long. Potential's always been there, but finally had my chance to break the chains and unleash, my potential a little bit there, and it showed. I shined pretty bright in that short little time that I was given to do it, and it's been rewarding. Even though these people, okay, fans of East Bay Pro, none of them know my backstory or watch me wrestle in New York, any of that stuff. So they're kind of crazy because it wasn't like that back there. And coming out here has been nothing but support and my character. It gives me more confidence that Cocky Johnson is legit and there's a bright future there. And obviously, is comfortable wearing gold, and I believe I can do that for any company going forward.
All right, man. I like that. I see what's up. Now, I got to point this out. Your name is Cocky Johnson, screaming just of presence and oozing of excellence.
Right.
And yet, man, you talk. Soft is not the right word, but I'll just say this, man. You do a lot of your talking in the ring, which I appreciate. The Prince recognizes what real talent is. So I guess my question here is going to be, bro, what has been one of your more like interesting or like, oh fuck, that was a match to remember kind of ones? Like you got one in specific? Is there any match that sticks out in your mind and says, yes, that is one to remember for Cocky Johnson?
You want some memorable matches? Obviously the first one, everyone never forget your first match. Yeah, that was a bit of a different version of cocky. It wasn't as cocky in that first match, but obviously you never forget your first. That was a good one. That was WW Johnny Rods 2014 Brooklyn. That was my first match. Never forget that. That first feeling you get before you go out there is nothing like it, and it's pretty intoxicating, and I've been loving that ever since. Well, I think my most memorable match, I would say I wrestled with Tony Atlas in a tag match back in 2017, and that was my first win as a pro wrestler. Tagging with Tony Atlas was pretty cool. But that wasn't Cocky Johnson. Cocky Johnson's most memorable match is I'd have to say that steel cage match. I was not supposed to lose that match. Cocky Johnson does not lose, and I feel like that was stacked against me a little bit. Obviously, both guys had title shots they didn't deserve. I feel like as the champion that I am, and the butts I put in the seats in the short time I've been at East Bay Pro, and earn that Mr. East Bay Pro trophy and then the championship shortly after. That's you know, I won't forget that. That match has been on my mind ever since the bell rung and the wrong man's hand was raised that night. And I know they call him the resilient one, Mr. Opportunity. I'm going to show you what resiliency is all about once I get back, Mr. Robert Taylor. And yeah, you're Mr. Opportunity. That's because no matter how many times you lose, management wants to give you one. You don't earn your opportunities. I'm going to show you why I earned that gold in the first place. And once I get it again, you won't even smell it. You won't even breathe the air that title breathes. Because that's a championship title. And this is your champion.
Whew. Damn. Man, Cocky Johnson, they should call you like aggressive dick instead. I like it. I like it, motherfucker. So that being said, man, that was a cage match. Was
It's
that your
getting
first cage
started.
match?
That was my first cage match. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect really. I mean, you watched cage matches through the years, and you try to anticipate how it's going to go, but you can never predict, especially a triple threat like that. And they were gunning for me, like always. They're always gunning for the champ, but yeah, triple threat cage match. That was my first one, but
But not your first three way.
pretty sure it won't be first. It was not my first three-way, but I know that won't be my last cage match, and it won't be my last championship match either. That's for sure.
Okay. Now, who's been one of your most memorable opponents? Whether it be like, oh, I can't stand that motherfucker, or like the guy that you're like, oh my God, he took me to the limit. I'm gonna get his ass. I mean, I know you spoke a lot about Robert Taylor. Is he the guy, or is it somebody else? Like, does he even break the top three, five?
Um, yeah, he's definitely one of my more memorable opponents because it feels like I don't know. That's all I've wrestled for the past I don't know since I've been an East Bay Pro. He's the only guy I see. I see him everywhere I go. Every time there's a ring and there's a referee, he wants to show up. So hard to forget about him. But I have some unfinished business with Serge as well, so I'm not forgetting about him either. But yeah, those guys definitely are on the radar. But the guy who took me to my limit the most, I would have to say, honestly, is Rick Luxury. Not as an opponent in a ring yet, but the fact that he's granting Robert Taylor matches that he doesn't deserve, and I just I don't think that's fair. I don't forget about things like that, and I'm pretty sure Rick Luxury and Cocky Johnson needs to happen sooner than later. Whether it's going through him to get stuff done or waiting for that match, but it's going to happen. So
All
get
right,
ready
I
for that.
like it. What kind of match would you want to see Rick Luxury in? Because I mean, he calls himself wrestling personified. He's been up and down, like the industry, the circuit. He's done a lot. So I mean, what match would you want to get him in for your redemption?
Doesn't really matter. I'm sure the fans, they'd be great seeing any kind of match with us two in it. But when it does happen, I mean, when Cocky Johnson comes back, I'm not too sure how by the book I'm willing to go. I got screwed by the ref in my last match. I was there, and I know he was just doing his job, but it seems like few of my last matches. Max Williams likes to get in the way of, what I'm trying to do out there, especially in championship matches and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not really on any. I'm not really at the point where I'm going to follow the rules. So if he wants to throw the rule book out the window and we get some, chairs or anything, any match at all, I'm game.
Man. Okay, I see why they call you Cocky Johnson when they should call you Mountain Oysters, bro. That you got a set on you. I give you that. I give you that. So here's another thing I gotta ask. Your fans are some of the most outlandish and extravagant fans that come to East Bay. I haven't really seen much like it in the Indies. You got your own signs that say cocky, cocky. I mean, I know that, like, okay, yeah, it's Cocky Johnson. That's your demeanor. But seriously, man, you're going to sit there and tell me that you don't get that extra kick, like when you get your whole pocket of fans on one side? Because I remember, bro, every time you went against Robert Taylor or Surza or anybody for that matter that was there, you had your whole, not even a pocket, half the fucking buildings that was screaming Cocky Johnson. And unfortunately, my monkey was over there screaming, Robert Taylor, God, whatever. But still, bro, you have a following, man. I mean, which is incredible. So, how do you feel about that? How do your fans make you feel? And also, why Cocky Johnson? Is it because you're Mr. Well Endowed as well, or is it just a moniker?
No, you see, I'm cocky. The reason why those fans are my fans and the way that they are is because I am Cocky Johnson. I back it up. It's not just cocky Johnson. I'm confident because I get the job done clearly. They see it. They understand. Those people, they get it. They understand why Cocky Johnson is who he is and does what he does because he backs it up. People call themselves Mr. Opportunity, but they don't back it up. And I think they get that. I live Cocky Johnson. When I walk out that curtain, they know it's for real. It's not a show. It's not, I don't come out there wanting them to flash their signs and scream my name. I don't ask for any of that, but they get it just like I do. That's why we are Cocky Johnson Nation. That's why they're there. But that's it. I am Cocky Johnson. When that music hits, that's what it is. It's just the way it goes.
Fuck, man. All right, I like that. Truest to man. Okay, you're loyal to the soil, the real deal. I fucks with it. All right, man. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. Let's play a little game. I'm gonna throw a couple words out there, whatever. I want to see what or names, and I want to hear your reaction. Cocky Johnson's reaction. So first one, we've already been through them a lot, but in one word, Robert Taylor.
Redemption.
Okay. Rick Luxury.
Soon.
Okay. Let's go with Surza.
Who?
NPR.
Nah.
All right. What about Mr. Downtown?
Soon.
Okay, okay. Let's change it up a little bit. What about Maynard Skinner?
Soon.
Damn, you got a set on your boy. Woo! All right. I like it. Now let's shift it up a bit, bro. So you started wrestling in New York. Around what year did you start?
It was summer of 2014.
Damn. So 2014. So you've been in the game about 7 years now, right? All right.
All right, yeah.
So how many different promotions have you been in? Or what's the largest crowd, better yet? What's the largest crowd you've been in? How did you feel when you wrestled that night?
Um, wrestled for a number of promotions up in New York and Jersey and the Northeast area. But the largest crowd, I'd have to say, was the UPW show in Rochester, New York. We had a match up in the Dome Arena there. Well, show, but I was part of the Battle Royal in that match, and it was a pretty cool. They in a building like that, but not only that, but the crowd was definitely there to make their make themselves felt out there. It was pretty loud. It was pretty cool to be a part of that. A lot of big time names were on that car. It was cool to be a part of that locker room and meet some of those guys too. But that was probably the biggest, but the loudest match I've ever been a part of was that I would have to say it was that steel cage, that entrance. That was probably the loudest I've heard out there. To be honest, that building, people say it's small, but people show up and then they make it loud in there, and you hear it, feel it, especially every time Cocky Johnson that music hits.
All right, man. Speaking on that, we'll stay on the steel cage match, brother. You took some bumps and you took a beating. Man, tell me, how did you feel afterwards, brother? I mean, honestly, me, shit, jumping off a cage, getting thrown off, or anything like that. I don't know if that's in the Prince's wheelhouse, but man, you took it like a man. How did you feel afterwards? What was going through your mind, bro? I mean, was that the most physical match you've had, or have you done any crazy shit like I don't know, like a vibrator on a pole match or some weird shit like that?
No match like that, but I've had some bumps along the road, that's for sure. No, after that match, I was feeling it a little bit. You know, it wasn't so much even the cage. It was chair shots and kendo sticks and stuff like that. It took its toll. After that, I'm still, my mind is, still feeling the effects of that match more than anything. But it lingered a little while. But nothing Cocky Johnson can't handle. Nothing I haven't gotten through before. But yeah, I've had some bumps. That's for sure. I think the biggest bump I ever took was body slam onto the outside of the ring there. Someone moved the padding and the body slammed me right there on the concrete. Yeah, that was probably the most disturbing bump I've ever taken. Didn't see that one coming, but yeah, there's been a couple chair shots, here and there, but nothing Cocky Johnson can handle.
Okay. See, I had a different bump in mind, but we'll stick with wrestling. We'll stick with wrestling. Don't want to get anybody caught up. But all right, that's crazy, bro. On the concrete, fuck that. That shit must have hurt like a bitch. I bet your ancestors felt that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think taking any more of those in my future. One's enough. One and done.
All right, man. I like it. That's just like how the prince does with the ladies. I'm just one done. Move on to the next. All right, man. That's cool, dude. Now, I've been noticing you have a pretty strong female following. I mean, cocky. I mean, the streaks just get, but bro, it is electric. So, is Cocky Johnson available? I mean, is that something the ladies should know?
Uh, Cocky Johnson is Cocky Johnson, and you know they get it too. They're cocky fans out there, but they get it. They understand what Cocky Johnson's all about, and you know you gotta. I understand. Let me put it this way: chick magnet, maybe, but as far as Cocky Johnson being available, I guess that's up for debate. we'll
Okay. I'm not gonna pry too much into that. It just sounds like I might get my ass beat if I pry too much into that one, and not by you necessarily. But okay, man. So, how did you feel? And here's another question: what about you winning the East Bay World Title? Was that like your first major championship? And if so, how did you feel? If not, what was your first one? And how did Cocky Johnson react? I mean, was you still the cool, level-headed, just raise the belt high in the air kind of guy, or did you know? Did it get to you? Because you know it does. It gets to people.
So like my first, I guess, anything like that I won was the Mr. East Bay Pro Trophy. I think winning that solidified like Cocky Johnson, arriving, being, people recognizing Cocky Johnson. Once I won that, it gave me that true confidence and that true okay, like I got something here, and shortly after that, I won that championship, and I was already, you know, I was already gun. I already knew I was going to win that. I didn't see it coming that soon, but Cocky Johnson was ready, and yeah, they say that it gets to you or whatever, yeah, but I feel like I was meant to win that championship. I showed that I deserved to be the champion, and I'm gonna be champion again real soon. And I don't know if that title is coming off me.
Cold, bro. Cold like my mama's heart. I love it. See, guys, this is how you got to be. This is a champion. Unlike, some guys that look like they just drank a beer and did some weird shit. But, anyways, we leave that on the side for now. Uh, all right, Cocky. So, I noticed you come out with some crazy robes, bro. And, whoo! Like what? Like, is it like a whole Ric Flair thing you're going for right there, bro? What inspired that? Did you just look at it and say, "That's cocky"? Cocky. Uh, what brought that on, bro? Because everybody's interest is unique to them. I mean, like, Robert and the child support payments, obviously, shit like that. But you, honestly, come on, man.
I basically look at the locker room and I say, what are none of these people? What can't any of these people do that I can do? And that's be cocky. That's be cocky, Johnson. I I want to notice people. I want people to recognize the second they lay eyes on me, what's about to happen, and that's the Cocky Johnson show. They know they're gonna get what they came to see. And they don't know my name. They don't even know anything about me. But as soon as my music hits and they see me, they're gonna know right away it's coming. And
You're the man.
I'm gonna look better and do it better than anyone else that's trying to do what I can do.
I like it. I like it. All right, man. Let's shy away a little bit from the cocky Johnson, or like let's stay with it, but let's ask you a little bit more like, you know, you as a fan kind of questions. Like, what has been like a match that has inspired you? I know you talked about the Attitude Era. You mentioned Stone Cold. Is there any like particular wrestler that really said, you know what, that's the guy that captivated Cocky Johnson? Is there a match that that you can rewatch and say, you know what, that is like the gold standard that I'm going to surpass?
Um, I mean, honestly, the most influential is got to be Austin for me. That's for sure. Growing up at that age, with how hot he was, and you know that that persona was just addicting. And so I guess yeah, Austin was my guy from day one. And the most memorable matches were, I mean, the first one was against Bret Hart in that submission match. That was probably like the first, you know, major match that I can remember. Honestly, I feel like that's the first match I can remember watching ever. And I watched that countless times, and it never gets old. Thought it was just perfect the way you know, how the crowd kind of switched with, how they cheered for um, Austin after that, and Austin 316 just started rolling, and everything like that. So, and then, the matches with The Rock, the first one, second one, obviously, and the third one, Austin versus Rock at WrestleMania. Those matches really stick out for me just because, that's as big as it gets, and those guys were just they're just amazing at what they do, especially when they're in the ring together.
Cool, man. I like that. All right. Do you use any like Stone Cold kind of inspired things, Busa? I know you use the third person a lot, which I thought was The Rock, but now I think about it, Stone Cold used third person too, so it makes sense. Is there any more influences like that that affect Cocky Johnson or that Cocky Johnson uses?
A little bit like I mean, I know Austin gives the bird, and I am the bird, um, but no, I'm more of a Cocky Johnson is. I got kind of the attitude of Austin, kind of do whatever I want, but you know, I'm a little more flashy than Stone Cold, and that's because I mean, Cocky Johnson. Look at me, you already know what it is. So, but yeah, there's a little bit of mixture of different wrestlers. Say there is some Ric Flair inspired to that. A little bit of Jericho, honestly. Booker T was definitely one of my big influence growing up. He's a great performer, and I also got the privilege of work training with him for a little bit, and he's definitely had a big impact on my wrestling career at this point. Yeah, I say yeah, Austin for sure.
Okay, okay. Now I see I can barely see your hair there, sir. Don't tell me you cut off all the golden locks.
No, I didn't cut him off. Just
Oh,
doing
it's a
their
little
own thing
messy.
right now.
All right. All right, man. So I know you've been in other promotions. I know you're supposed to have a show at West Coast Pro, but COVID fucks up everything. I get how that works. Is there any big promotions in the Bay or in NorCal or California in general on the West Coast that people need to know, like, hey, Cocky Johnson is coming, or like that you would like to go to?
Yeah, I think West Coast Pro definitely, on both sides. I think that would have been big for Cocky Johnson, but also I think more, more eyes, more people getting to see Cocky Johnson, and I think that needs to happen. I mean, I'm not really. I think eventually, pretty soon, hopefully, West Coast Pro will give Cocky Johnson that chance to show the people what he's all about. But I got unfinished business at East Bay Pro, obviously. But yeah, there's some promotions Cocky Johnson's denying in the California area, but you never know. Cocky Johnson might show up somewhere else pretty soon here. We'll see though.
I like it, man. Now, I want to know your opinion on this, bro, because I love asking people. What would you rather be in? Cocky Johnson makes it. We know it's gonna happen. It's just bound to happen. Kind of like cocaine getting up certain people's noses. It's gonna happen. Anyways, which organization would we see Cocky Johnson in? Would it be WWE? Would it be New Japan? Or you're gonna go for like AEW? What's in your wheelhouse? What are you gonna do? What would you do?
And that's not really on my immediate radar right now. I know eventually, I think we'll get to hopefully get to decide that at some point down the road. But I got a lot of unfinished business. There's a lot of steps Cocky Johnson wants to do before he gets to that decision. There's a lot of places I want to work, whether it's here in just California, but the States, whether it be in Japan, Europe. I'm not sure the organization that's going to be best fit for Cocky Johnson when that comes around, but you know, Cocky Johnson just wants to get as much eyes on him as he can, work as much as possible here pretty soon, and you know, yeah, I got a lot of things I want to do before I get to that point. Because it's important. The independent scene is super important, and Kaka Johnson, and I want to make sure, I make my mark as much as possible where I can, But if the opportunity strikes, I'm sure the right organization will be the right one at the right time.
Okay, man. See the way you are, bro. I mean, cocky Johnson, you is too damn humble to be cocky these days, bro. You should. Okay, I like the answer, but man, I would love to see you on the big stage, bro. I know you're gonna get there. Who would be your dream opponent? Like really, anybody, dead or alive?
Dead or alive, in their prime, anytime,
Anytime.
that kind of thing.
Just like how my auntie used to give it up for free, anytime.
Oh man. Any opponent. I mean, honestly, if you can go against, say, Hogan, early Hogan, one early WrestleManias, you honestly, like, doesn't like get bigger than that. I mean, if I could have been, Ultimate Warrior facing Hulk Hogan in that WrestleMania, I don't think it would really top that.
All right,
Something like
man. That's a classic one, bro. I like that. I like that. All right, man. What about any funny road stories, brother? Like, do you have one where you're like, okay, that kind of threw me for a loop? Anything, that you could talk about?
road stories. Let's see. Yeah. I think the first time, one time I flew to Houston for a show, and so I got this right before my flight, took off. Cause coming from Buffalo to Houston, I got this bad migraine, bad migraine right before I was about to fly. So this entire plane flight, got this bad headache. I'm feeling sick. Um, pretty messed. I don't know, just out of nowhere, right before the flight, and then I land. I'm still feeling nauseous. I still have this migraine. Go straight to the hotel room, and then I got to wrestle a couple of hours. So trying to get rid of this migraine. Trying to relax and feel better, and ended up going to the show. Getting dressed, everything, getting ready to go over the match, and started feeling better. Feeling good. I was tired time, like, trying to get through this thing. Started feeling better right before I go out there. Like, started to feel good, right? Music hits, go out there, do my thing. Next guy, music hits, he's on his way out, and he's about to come up into the ring. The ref was over to me. He's like, "You guys, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I feel fine." And I got out of nowhere, just blah, threw up all over corner of the ring with the turnbuckle and everything like that. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. It came out of nowhere. Like, I started feeling good, and then all of a sudden it just came right out. And then I went on to wrestle a 10-minute match after that.
Bro, they should call you instead of Cocky Johnson, just Mr. Johnson. Just capitalize that bitch. You threw up and you still wrestled 10 minutes? Oh, no. How did your opponent feel, man? I don't know if I would want to lock up with a guy that just just yacked everywhere.
They thought we just rolled with it. Like I felt good. I felt okay. Like I was saying, I started to feel good, and it just came out of me. But it was pretty. It was different. Didn't expect that, and then yeah, we just kind of rolled with it and stayed away from the mess that happened, and we ended up finishing the match. But yeah, it was not one of Cocky Johnson's finest moments, but it happened.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Staying with that, bro. Did you ever have an opponent that was too stiff? Like, one that you were just like, yo, seriously, tone it the fuck down. You ever have somebody that wasn't easy to work with or just pretty much laid into you, like too much?
Yeah, there's some guys are stiffer than others. But yeah, no one really jumps out as too stiff or anything like that. I mean, I've taken some cracks, and it's not even necessarily the stiffness. Some people just sometimes it's usually just a flailing arm or flailing leg or something like that gets your attention. But I've never really had anyone too stiff. I mean, you know, I feel like I'm like that sometimes. Sometimes you gotta be, but I haven't really had anyone that went too far. I guess when it comes to that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, man. Now, we're getting to the end of the segment. Obviously, the principal needs to have Cocky Johnson back on the show. I'd love to do it more in person, bro. Again, Cocky Johnson, whoo, you was a champ when I went to go see East Bay. So, like, Mr. Taylor has it for now, but whatever. It's Robert. Who gives a fuck, anyways? But, bro, you've been talking about Robert a lot tonight. I know that the hunger is there. So I'm gonna leave it with you, man. You say whatever you want. What's your message to him or anybody out there for that matter that wants to challenge Cocky fucking Johnson?
Just know that when Cocky Johnson arrives, you won't know when he's coming. You won't know how he's coming. You don't know who's gonna see him first. But just know that Cocky Johnson is coming, and East Bay Pro will never be the same.
Man, no weird shit, but I really hope you don't suffer from little Chile syndrome. But that pro, all right, feeling it. I love it. Cocky Johnson, man, it was a pleasure to have you at the Palace with obviously the Prince. The honor is yours, but damn it, I cannot wait to get you back here, motherfucker. You've been a recluse to everybody else, but you recognize royalty, so I appreciate it. Cocky Johnson, man, thank you. Where can we catch you at on social media, baby? People want to know, people want to follow.
It's the Cocky Johnson on Instagram and the Cocky Johnson YouTube page. Check that out. Check out some of these matches we just talked about. Yeah, Cocky Johnson will be on the scene again pretty soon. Stay tuned. You don't know when, but it's coming.
All right, all you filthy peasants, worthless jabroni. It's been that tall glass of tequila that your mom loves sipping on, and the man, the myth, the future legend in making, baby, Cocky. Trust me, it's big as hell. Johnson, baby, thank you for being here, brother. I can't wait for the next one.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Peace.